Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are seeing quite a bit of technical knowledge about the calculation of time from atom. We will see it little bit description of that as Prabhupada is giving in the purport, and we will see that actually it is, even though it is quite technical, but it's not very difficult to understand. It is quite simplistic. But the most important thing we have to understand is that all these different branches of knowledge, they're all connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we become swayed, carried away by the knowledge contained in the Vedas, either in astrology, astronomy, Dhanurveda, Ayurveda, if we forget the most important reason that these knowledges are all connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are connected to the most important mission of human form of life, to go back to Godhead. Utilize this knowledge for attaining the most important goal, go back to Godhead. If we forget this goal and simply become carried away by the different branches of knowledge, then it is a sheer waste of time. It is just like to understand, say for example, human being is given intelligence. He is given power of communication. We can think rationally. We can act rationally. So, if we forget that all these different faculties, facilities are given to human being, and if we act just like animals, then it's a waste of human life. So we have to understand, just like in human form of life, intelligence is given, mind is given, power to speak is given for a very important purpose. The purpose is utilize all of them and understand the real goal of life. Athato Brahman Jignasa. Otherwise, animals are also having, they can also think. Dog can also think. A cat can also think very, very thoughtfully. More clever than us, it can think where to find the milk, how to approach the kitchen when nobody is available. More better in that way of thinking, in eating, sleeping, mating and defense. Similarly, very important thing to understand is all these different subject matter, calculation of time, creation, sometimes people get lost into this knowledge, not understanding for what purpose this knowledge is given. What is the purpose of understanding all these things? So if we forget the purpose, then it is a waste of time. See, it's very important to understand this, very important principles behind all these different subject matters. Like, if we remember that story in Krishna Leela, in Krishna book, where the Yagnik Brahmanas, they were conducting yagna, and to offer in yagna they had prepared lot of different kinds of bhoga which is required to be offered in the sacrifice. Now the most important understanding is that sacrifice is performed to please Lord Vishnu. He is called as Yagneshwar, Bhoktaram, enjoyer of all sacrifices. Right? So if we forget this most important purpose behind the yagna, and that is how these Yagnik Brahmanas, they forgot that purpose, they were busy in doing the yagna, and when that Yagneshwar, the Supreme Lord Himself, the enjoyer of the yagna, sent the cowherd boys that go and ask the Brahmanas that for whom you have prepared, for yagna you have prepared, the master of that yagna, he is asking your offerings. So they could not understand that actually this process I am doing to please that Lord Vishnu directly is asking, so let me give it to him. They forgot the purpose of the yagna and they did not give, they sent them away. Whereas greater were the devotees. They were not expert in this conducting of any kind of yagnas, they were not expert brahmanas, not expert in chanting the Vedic mantras required in the yagnas. The Brahmana Patnis who were great devotees of the Lord, when they understood that Krishna and Balaram are hungry, even after being stopped by their husbands, they were ready to part away. They gave away whatever was cooked in the house for that yagna. Because they understood the real purpose of all these bhogas which we are planning to offer in the yagna is actually to please Lord Vishnu. So this is very important to understand. So if you read here, Prabhupada is saying we are not very much concerned about technical knowledge. So we should not forget this. We are concerned with the person to whom these different knowledges are connected. That is what we are concerned about. So Prabhupada is saying here, the subject matter of physics, chemistry, mathematics, astronomy, time and space dealt in the above verses of Srimad Bhagavatam are certainly very interesting to students of particular subject. So if you find a student of physics, he may take a lot of interest in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he finds that, oh, lot of physics is discussed here, lot of electrons, protons, atoms, atomic theory is discussed. So he may take a lot of interest. But what is his idea of interest? Only for the sake of knowledge. You see? Why he wants to gain that knowledge? He wants to become expert in that field. either for the sake of knowledge, for controlling matter, or to get name and fame. These are the criteria. So that may be very interesting to them. So Prabhupada is saying, as far as we are concerned, we cannot explain them very thoroughly in terms of technical knowledge. And what is the summary? Prabhupada is saying the summary is this. This is what all of us should very thoroughly remember. Throughout Bhagavatam, whatever different technical knowledges we may get of physics, of some mathematical calculation, astronomy, astrology, creation, isn't it? Even evolution, all this technical knowledge, most important thing to remember is this summary which Prabhupada is saying here. The subject is summarized by the statement that above all the different branches of knowledge is the supreme control of Kala. You see? All knowledges, whatever we are seeing, above them is Kala. It is because of manifestation of Kala the different branches of knowledge is available. The sun is moving, stars are there, planets are there, atomics existing. All these things are manifested because of the force of Kala. If Kala is not there, none of these things will become manifested. So above them is the control of Kala. And what is this Kala? The plenary representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing exists without Him. And therefore, everything, however wonderful it may appear to our meager knowledge, so it may appear to be very wonderful knowledge contained in Srimad Bhagavatam, is but the work of magical wand of Supreme Lord. You see, we may get into the intricacies of this knowledge about Kala, but actually this is all the working of, it is just like the magical wand of the Supreme Lord. Just like a magician, he just waves his magical wand like this, and so many magic appears to us. Isn't it? So it is something like that. And then Prabhupada gives some description about this Kala in terms of modern calculation of time, which we will just try to understand. You can make the board. So, it's technical knowledge, not very complicated, but at least some aspects of it we should understand as it is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And actually, we will be wonderstruck to see what scientists are calculating today was known many thousands of years ago in this Vedic text. All this knowledge what is contained in the modern science today, which they are claiming it today, is already contained in the Vedic literature. And the sample of that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we'll just go back from the basics of what we learned in the earlier class. Can anybody tell what is the unit of time we understood as atomic time? What was the definition we saw of the atomic time? Time covered by sun in passing over an atom. Actually, sun is going in its orbit, and that is the beginning of time. And it is always in cycle. It always keeps on going. So, the time covered by sun, when the sun is traveling in its orbit, the time it takes to cover, to pass over an atom is called atomic time. So, we will begin with this and see that how beautifully further from this atomic time 1 year is calculated. Life of devatas are calculated, manvantaras are calculated, yugas are calculated by this atomic time. This is a small unit. Just like in modern science we have second as one of the unit. Now they are dividing seconds also further, milliseconds, like that, right? So something called millisecond is also there, 1/1,000,000th of a second. Similarly, in the Vedic time also there is something called as atomic time. Now we will see further. So first we understand time taken by sun to cover an atom is called atomic time. So that is one atom. When two atoms combine together, instead of one atom, if there were two atoms and they combine together, that is called as double atom. And same thing. Then again the time traveled by sun taken for two atoms, it is called anu. So Paramanu is actually an atom. Two Paramanus, two atoms, if we combine together, it will give rise to one anu. So very simple to understand. Anu is a gross. Param anu, smaller than anu. Param anu means smaller than anu. So two Paramanu combined together will give one anu. Okay. So what is one anu? Equivalent to two Paramanus, two atoms. So it can also be called, Prabhupada calls it as, in Sanskrit it is called as anu. Prabhupada calls it as double atom. Paramanu is one atom, right? Paramanu is called one atom. Two Paramanus together, two atoms together is called one double atom, or it is called one anu. Okay. So one anu is equal to two Paramanus, two atoms, or it is called double atom. Three of these double atoms, when they combine together, it creates hexaatom. Now you may wonder how it is hexaatom. Hexa means 6. We are saying 3 double atom combining together is hexaatom. Why it is called hexaatom? Because that itself, first of all, it was double atom. It is not single atom. Double atom, like that, 3 of the double atom is making one hexaatom. So in Sanskrit it is called trisarenu. Paramanu is single atom, anu is double atom, then 3 of these anu combine together and makes one trisarenu. One trisarenu is 6 atoms together is called trisarenu. This trisarenu, this hexaatom is what is visible to human eyes. You see? What is that? If you see one hole in a room, and then you see sun rays passing, and you can see some particles are visible, that is called as hexaatom. Correct? You can see the sunlight is passing like this. So that is called as trisarenu. Trisarenu is what is visible to human eyes. Double atom, anu, is not visible. Paramanu is not visible to human eyes. Now, the smallest unit of the time we saw was atomic time. The sun requires how much time to, but that is not used generally in calculation. It is very small time. It is practically not used in calculation. What we start using in calculation is from this trisarenu. That we will see. time required for integration of 3 trisarenu is called as 1 truti. 1 truti is considered to be one of the smallest time of calculation which is used for calculation. Even trisarenu is not used for calculation. From 1 truti, we start using it for calculation. So what is 1 truti? Time required for integration of 3 trisarenu is called as 1 truti. And what is 1 truti in terms of, this is what you can see. 1 truti is calculated as, if you divide 1 second, into 1687.5 parts, that is called as 1 truti. In simplified terms, you can make it like this. 8 seconds, if you divide into 13,500 parts, is 1 truti. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8 seconds. 8 seconds, if you divide them into 13,500 times, that is 1 truti. Then, hundreds of these trutis, that time is considered to be 1 vedha, which is equivalent to 8 seconds if you divide them into 135 parts, not 13,500 parts. If 8 seconds you divide into 135 parts, you will get the time of 3 vedha. Sorry, 100 trutis you will get. Then, which is equivalent to 1 vedha. 3 of such vedhas, if you combine together, it will give 1 lava. Lava matra. 1 lava. That is 8 seconds. If you divide them into 45 parts, you will get the time of 1 lava. Similarly, 3 lavas will make 1 nimesha, which is equivalent to 8 seconds if you divide into 15 parts, is called nimesha. Anybody remembers that famous verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where he quotes nimesha? Huh? Yugaitum nimishena. This nimisha is this. Nimisha is also considered to be the time of twinkling the eyes, eyelid, when we see. It is 8 by 15 seconds. If 8 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if you divide them into 15 parts, that is equivalent to nimesha. So that is the time. 3 nimeshas makes 1 shana. 1 shana is equal to 3 nimesha. What is 1 shana? It is not even 1 second. It is, if you divide 8 seconds into 5 parts, it is more than 1. 1 point something it will come. So it is more than 1. 1 shana is more than 1 second. If 8 seconds you divide into 5 parts, it is called as 1 shana. 5 shanas, if you take together, it will form 1 kasta. 1 kasta is equivalent to 8 seconds. So 1 kasta is equivalent to 8 seconds. Then 15 kastas together makes 1 laghu. 1 laghu is nearly equivalent to 2 minutes. 1 laghu is equivalent to 2 minutes. Then 15 laghus, if you take together, it forms 1 nadika or 1 danda. If all of you remember, in last class, we saw about how to measure one danda. One danda is equivalent to nearly 30 minutes. One danda or one nadika. Anybody remembers? One copper pot if you take, and if you take one gold bar of certain diameter, that diameter was given, 4 masa. If that diameter and particular length if you take, with this much hole if you create in that pot, and if you dip that into water, the time it will take to overflow that much is called as one danda or one nadika. That is calculated to be around 30 minutes. Okay. So, one danda is equivalent to 30 minutes. 2 dandas makes one muhurta. Muhurta, you remember who had, how many muhurtas one devotee had? Raghutam, you remember? When Parikshit Maharaj was concerned that he has only 7 days left with him, was it Khatwanga Maharaj? How many muhurtas he had? 1 muhurta or 2 muhurtas? Huh? Not Shana, I think he had only Shanas. That will be according to demigod's time, yes. Because he was in the higher planets. So he was having Shanas. Who will research and tell in the next class exactly how much time he had in according to modern times? Raghuttama? Okay. So one muhurta is equivalent to 60 minutes, which is equivalent to 2 dandas. 6 to 7 dandas is how many hours? 6 dandas is how many hours? 1 danda is 30 minutes. 6 danda is 3 hours. 7 dandas is 3.5. This makes 1/4 of a day or night. Correct? One day you can call as 12 hours approximately. One night is also 12 hours. 24 hours totally. What is 1/4 of that? 3 hours. Correct? So how you can see how beautifully it is all calculated. 6 to 7 dandas makes 1/4 of a day. It is called prahara or yama. So in a day, 24 hours, how many yamas are there? How many praharas are there? Full date, in 24 hours, how many praharas are there? 8 praharas, correct? In 12 hours we are having 4 praharas. In another 12 hours we are having another 4 praharas. In a day how many praharas are there? 8 praharas are there. Then, so this is called praharas. 15 such days of 24 hours is called paksha. This we use in our chanting of mantras. Krishna paksha, Shukla paksha. It is equivalent to how many days? 15 days. So every 15 days, what is the meaning of Shukla paksha? What is Shukla? White. What is Krishna? Black. So when it is dark night, it is called as Krishna paksha. When it is bright night, when moon is visible, it is called as Shukla paksha. So this is how it is calculated. 15 days and night makes 1 fortnight, which is called as paksha. 2 fortnight That means two pakshas together, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha combined together makes Masa. One Masa, which is 1 month. This 1 Masa is equivalent to 1 day and night of Pita planets. Our 1 month passes, in Pita planets 1 day passes. See how beautiful it is. Time dilation. Einstein also explained about this. Time dilation. The more you go higher and higher, time dilates. Time passes slowly. Here the time is passing very fast for all of us. Our 1 month has passed. In Pita planet, 1 day has passed. Okay. So now we have come to the point of 1 Masa already. 2 of such month makes 1 Ritu. Grishma Ritu, Sharad Ritu, and what are all other? Isn't it? So different Ritus are there. 6 into 2, there are 6 Ritus in a year. Right? Varsha Ritu, so different kinds of Ritus are there. 2 months together makes 1 Ritu, 1 season. 6 months, in 6 months, the sun travels from north to south completely. Ayana. If it is traveling from south to north direction, it is called Uttarayana. It is going to Uttara. If it is traveling in the opposite direction to Dakshina, it is called Dakshinayana. So this is how 6 months is this Uttarayana in a year, 6 months is Dakshinayana. When the sun is traveling towards north and when the sun is traveling towards south. You see? And once it completes the whole orbit of traveling from south to north and north to south, it has completed its orbit. And that is called as 1 year for all of us. So, 2 solar movement of the sun makes 1 year. This 6 month, when the sun is traveling from one direction to another, from north to south or from south to north, which is our 6 month, is equivalent to 1 day of demigods, more higher planets. See how the time is dilating. Our 1 month was equivalent to, our 1 month was equivalent to 1 day of Pita Lokas. Our 6 month is equivalent to 1 day of Devatas. See, this is how it is calculated. So, 2 solar movement is equivalent to 1 day and night of demigods, which is equivalent to 1 of our years. And then further we see that how kalpas are calculated. Kalpa is day and night of Brahma, which is equivalent to, if you calculate in our years, 1 kalpa is equivalent to 8.64 trillions of years. So 1 day of Brahma or 1 night of Brahma is equivalent to that much. Just imagine. Ardha kalpa is half of his day, is equivalent to, that means from morning to night of Brahma, is equivalent to 4.32 trillions of years, which is equivalent to 1000 Mahayuga. That means 1000 cycles of Satyuga, Kalyuga, thousands like that has passed. That is equivalent to 12 hours of Brahma. Not the morning to his night is equivalent to 1000 cycles of 4 yugas have passed on earth. That is how it is equivalent. So you can just imagine. And 1 yuga, and all different yugas are also so many different years, number of years. Like Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. Dwapar is 8,64,000 years. Like that it goes on. This is how these different time calculations are given in the Vedic literature. But the most important thing what Prabhupada is saying in this purport is about to know about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the controller of the time factor, and the time factor is the controller of all the activities, all the manifestations in this material world. And this knowledge we get very clearly from Brahma Samhita, that sun, by which we calculate time on this earthly planet or in this universe, in this material manifestation, is nothing but, it is just like an eye. And even the sun is going in its orbit. The sun is going from one atom, passing, it's atomic second it is giving, atomic time. But the sun itself is moving in its orbit by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see? So which is that shloka? Yat chakshureva savita sakala grahanam raja samasta suramurti rashesha tejaha yasyagnaya brahmati sambrata kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham vajami. So we'll stop with this. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.